and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a makeup tutorial on this look. This eyeshadow look is very much inspired by the new Sultry eyeshadow palette, which is the brand new eyeshadow palette for the holidays by Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is this gorgeous, very sexy, smoky eyeshadow palette even. So that is what I used on the eyes, and it was also an excuse for me to break out the brand new metallic liquid lipstick set, also by Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is limited edition for the holidays. I used the shade Phantom on my lips and the shade Blizzard, which is like an icy white pink. I actually used it on my tear duct because I wanted to show a versatility of having to buy a set and then you're kind of thinking, well, how will I use that look? Well, you can use it on your eyes. It works well, doesn't burn, doesn't sting, doesn't feel awkward. It's great. Basically, I'm on my way out for the night. I'm wearing this t-shirt dress, which is from Topshop. It's all very holographic, different colours depending on how I move in the light. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye. Hello everybody. So first off, I'm going to be priming the eyes using my Louise eyeshadow primer in the shade Rumour. This will ensure that your eyeshadow stays in place all day. Followed by the Primark primer also, which is like a spray, which does the same thing for your face, keeps it all in place all day. And the foundation I'm using is the LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation in the shade Soft Honey. I also use the shade Soft Tan, and I'm blending it in using the Morphe M439 Deluxe Buffer Brush, followed by the Too Faced Supreme Coverage Concealer in the shade Medium Beige to cover up my dark circles under my eyes, to also highlight under my eye area, as well as highlighting the high points of my face. And I'm just using a damp beauty blender to blend this all out, making sure that there are no harsh lines between the foundation and the concealer. Then I'm using the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder in the shade Blondie, and I'm using my Real Techniques contour brush to blend it all in. Well, not blend it all in, to set it. What am I talking about? And I'm going to leave that on my face for 5 seconds before I brush it all off. This will ensure that the concealer does not move or budge throughout the day. Then to set the face, I'm using my favourite setting powder, my Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Setting Powder, and I am using the Sigma F30 Large Powder Brush, and this will keep me lovely and matte throughout the evening. Then I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry Palette, and the first shade I'm using is called Fresh, and I'm just covering my entire eye using the Sigma E40 Tapered Blending Brush just to neutralise my eyes. Then I'm using the shade called Pearl, and this is a really shimmery ivory shade, and it's great to use on the brow bone, so that's why I'm using it on my brow bone, because it will just look lovely and shimmery throughout the evening. Then the next shade I'm going to be using is called Twig, and I'm using a Morphe M330 blending brush, going backwards and forwards in the crease. I've gone in quite heavily, as you can see, because I want to have a really defined eye socket. This is like an evening glam look, so obviously the more extra I'm going to go for it. Why not? You know, you only go out now and then, right? Well, I do anyway. And the next shade I'm using is called Slate, and I'm using exactly the same brush, and I'm going directly into the crease area so that it diffuses nicely into the shade above, as these are both kind of taupey grayish kind of shades. And then I'm just blending them both together so there are no harsh lines. Now the next shade I'm going to be using is called Dystopian, and I am using a Sigma E70 medium angled shading brush, and it is an angled brush obviously, so just create a line and then start to drag it into my outer V area. This creates a much more defined look, so it looks a lot more sharper. And then I'm just dragging the shade inwards so that it creates a really nice smoky look. Then I'm using the same Morphe brush just to blend out those shades together. Then I'm using the shade called Noir, and I'm using the fluffy brush that comes with the palette, just dabbing it on gently, little by little, building up the colour, and I'm just swirling the brush without actually lifting it off of my skin. This way you can control the shade and its placement. And then I'm just using the same Sigma brush just to blend between all those shades together, so it's all nice and blended, no harsh lines, and the black blends into the grey. Then I'm using the shade called Cyborg, which is an intense metallic silver shade. I love using these metallic shades with my finger because you get a lot more product that applies to the lid. And then I am just going to use the Royal & Langnickel Eye Fluff brush just to blend out the edges and just to smooth out the shade a little bit. And then I'm just using a little bit more of the shade Noir to blend between the matte and the shimmery shade so that it's nicely diffused into each other. And I'm just setting my brows using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Tinted Brow Gel in the shade Chocolat. And now I'm going to do my eyeliner. I'm using my NYC liquid liner. I've kind of run out of this, and I've been using the NYX matte liner, liquid liner since then, which does just as good a job as this. And obviously, as this is a very kind of smoky look, I'm winging out my eyeliner a lot. Then the eyelashes I'm using are the Koko lashes. I think they're in the style Goddess. I can't remember. I will link it all below for you guys so that you do not miss a thing. And I'm just shifting around my eyelashes using my tweezers just to get them in the right place. Then the next shade I'm going to be using is called Birch. And I'm applying this to the lower lash line using a Morphe M507 pointed blender brush. As the shades above are so dark, I wanted to go in with a slightly lighter shade on the lower lash line. Then I'm using my Rimmel Scandaleyes Kohl Kajal in the shade Black, obviously. And then I'm using Blizzard liquid lipstick, which is a icy pink multi-dimensional pearl, and I'm using the MAC 219 pencil brush to dab it gently onto the lash line. Try not to get it into your eye if you can manage it. And then I'm using the Maybelline Push Up Angel mascara for my lower lash line, and that's it. My eyelashes are done. Now let's move on to the face. I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Saddle Powder Bronzer, and I am carving out my very roundish kind of face using my Morphe M405 contour blush brush and creating some sort of nose for myself as well, just sharpening it, defining it, bronzing myself up, making myself look less flat and more 3D. Then I'm using the same Huda Beauty powder, and I'm using the Morphe M459 flat contour brush just to carve out everything you just saw to make it more defined, a lot more sharp. Then I'm blending it out and brushing it all off using the Real Techniques contour brush. As you can see, it's a bit of a harsh line, so just blend that out with no extra product. Now I'm moving on to the cheeks, and I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cocktail Party Blush Trio in the shade Vegas, and I am applying it to the backs of my cheeks using a Royal and Langnickel blush brush. I am going in quite heavy, like I said, going out in the evening, restaurant, dark, doesn't matter, you look contoured and defined and fabulous. And now for the highlight, I'm using the Amrezy highlighter, and I'm using a Morphe M401, I think, pointed blender brush to apply it to the cheekbones. Again, I'm going in very heavily because I am going out for the evening and I want to be shimmering all night. And then I'm applying it to all the other areas where I like to have highlighted, like my Cupid's bow, to make my lips look slightly fuller just at the top. And then to finish off the look, I'm using Phantom liquid lipstick, which is such a gorgeous kind of Bordeaux sort of shade, and I am applying this liberally to my lips. And then that is it for the look. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.